Hurtling toward the day when climate change could be irreversible.
Rising sea levels already altering this nation's coast.
China's capital is choking in its worst pollution of the year.
5% of species will become extinct.
Sea levels rising.
There are people who believe in science and scientific research, and there are people who think that they are the most important and trustable person, and anyone else on this planet, including scientists, are lying or have a quote-unquote hidden agenda.
What about the scientists who say it's worse than ever?
You'd have to show me the scientists because they have a very big political agenda, Leslie.
I can't bring them in.
Scientists also have a political agenda.
If you judge the former president based on his words alone, then his views on climate change appear contradictory and confusing. He has called climate change mythical, non-existent, or an expensive hoax, but also subsequently described it as a serious subject that is, quote, very important to me. These people would not believe anything unless they don't feel a significant change personally. They want first-hand experience.
Been the warmest year on record. I asked the chair, you know what this is? It's a snowball. And that's just from outside here. So it's very, very cold out, very unseasonal. So here, Mr. President, catch this.
That is James Inhofe, Senator of United States of America. He proved that climate change is hoax by bringing in a ball of ice, which did not melt immediately due to low temperatures. So because the ice did not melt, global warming must be hoax, right? These two comments about his quote-unquote proof makes me crack up. If something did not happen to me, or I can't feel it distinctly, then it must not be real, is what they think. Such people would not agree that humans are responsible for global warming and climate change. And what's more absurd is that such people straight up deny that climate change is a real thing. They believe that this is all a hoax. Well, this was what they think, and their pretty illogical reasoning. Let us now address the elephant in the room. How to deal with climate change deniers. Your first instinct might be to start cussing at these people who straight up deny the phenomenon of climate change. And that might make you feel a bit superior for the moment, but cussing at them or just insulting them will just make them defensive and just deny the climate change even more, doing no real good. Here's what you should do. Knowledge. Firstly, arm yourself with knowledge and proper information. You should have proper information so that you can move on to the next step. The next step is to ask questions. Question them why they think this is unreal. Why they think it won't affect us. What do they think is the quote-unquote hidden agenda? And then give good responses to what they think. Next, use stories. Our brain loves stories because the part of brain that understands story is closely connected to the emotional part of our brain. So stories linger in our minds for much longer than any plain yet true fact would. And the fact is, emotions overpower facts. It might seem that we are these very rational creatures, but the truth is we are also very deeply emotional creatures. And emotions make us do the majority of the things we do. So use stories, real stories, and you will find lots of real stories as the effects of climate change is wreaking havoc around the globe. Just think about it. In Australian wildfire, 18.6 million hectare of forest was burned. Did this fact trigger any emotions? Yes, for sure, but not as much emotions as this photo of Louis the koala trying to survive the very same fire. Louis the koala sadly passed away in a hospital. A lot of plastic ends up in oceans and harms and kills a lot of marine life, is a fact we have known for ages. But a sea turtle with straw is all it took to change minds of thousands of people. Not future anymore. The fact that the sea level will rise and engulf a lot of cities is bad, but it doesn't trigger much concern. Even though this will happen much sooner than we will ever expect, our ancient, stone-aged brains don't think of it as a real threat because it is not bothering us significantly right at this moment or in the next few months. We are aware it is a threat, but our monkey mind does not think it needs to be addressed now. After all, it will happen sometime in distant future. Our brains are too optimistic. We don't see threats until the last moment. Or rather, we see the threats but are just too optimistic, thinking, this won't affect me. Substance abusers know full well about the effects like cancer but always think, it won't happen to me, until it's too late. And it is pretty late to fix the climate now. Just stopping our activities won't stop all this. Now we are at such a point that we would need to take extra efforts, like afforestation, to, well, clean up this mess we have created. And the thing is, every time we talk about the effects of climate change, we talk of it as something that will happen ages from now. There will be droughts. There will be wildfires. The sea level will start to rise. The climate will be extreme. There will be crop failure. The truth is, many of these things are happening, and happening even right now. Extreme climates, droughts, crop failure, all things are happening right now. So when letting the deniers know about the harsh effects our actions have, do not make this mistake. And yes, the fact that you gave real-life stories will help you a lot in letting them know that the effects are not distant. So arm yourself with a calm mindset, information and heart-wrenching stories and change the minds of the deniers. How was your encounter with a climate change denier? Let me know in the comment section. Were you able to change any minds? Do you have any tricks up your sleeves to deal with such deniers? Let us know about it. Before you leave, let me tell you about our free website that we created with the intent of achieving a greener, more sustainable Earth. If you are interested in gardening, zero waste or sustainability, then I highly recommend you check that out. Link in description. This and other such great topics are already available in form of blogs and videos over there.